salt was resting in the air. The day was warm and clear. You placed your cup beside my hand and moved a little near. We talked about the simple things, the places we had known. A quiet boat was far away beyond the line of blue. You didn't need to tell me what I already knew. We found a small table at the edge of the sea, where time was easy then. The water kept its quiet sound, and we forgot the hour again. Your coffee cooled beside my hand. The day grew soft and still. A small table at the edge of the sea was all we needed then. You drew a little circle around the mark your cup had made. I smiled at something you had said and watched the water fade. No promise needed saying, no future needed planned. Just one more quiet cup of coffee and your hand beside my hand. Some places hold a feeling long after people go. A little chair, an empty cup, a stretch of quiet blue. We found a small table at the edge of the sea and stayed until the light grew thin. The coffee had gone cold by then, but neither wanted to leave. The years may change the places, the water may move on, but that small table by the sea still feels like where we belong. I walked along the water when the day was almost done. The shore was quiet under me, the last warmth of the sun. I thought about the things we said on days that felt so long. Some words become much softer when the years have carried on. I wasn't looking for you, I wasn't trying to recall. The water kept on moving in a slow and steady way. I stood there for a little while and let it have its say. The sound was almost familiar, was passing quietly by. A wave came up beside my feet and slowly slipped away. I heard a laugh I almost knew from some much older day. For just a little moment the distance disappeared. I heard your voice in the sound of the waves, and somehow you were near. Maybe memory has its own way of finding where we are. It doesn't need a photograph or know how far we've gone. The water kept on moving. The evening settled down. I stayed there with the quiet sea until the light was gone. I didn't need to call your name. I didn't need to try. I heard your voice in the sound of the waves. Then let the memory lie. The room had grown a little quieter. The cups were almost dry. You looked at me across the table and didn't ask me why. We talked about the coming week, the things we had to do, but every little word that night seemed slower next to you. The evening had grown late, but neither moved to go. We took our time with simple things and let the minutes pass. You held the cup between your hands. I watched the shadows cast. No one said that it was ending. No one asked how long. We simply stayed a little more while the quiet carried on. The chairs were being put away. The room was nearly clear. You finished what was in your cup and looked at me once more. There was still a little warmth left at the bottom of my cup. It was the last coffee before we went home, and neither wanted up. Some endings don't arrive with words. They come in smaller ways. A final sip, a quiet look, a slower kind of day. said goodbye, but because I remember how the cups were empty, lights were low, the room had settled down, and that last quiet cup of coffee still keeps that evening warm. We started with a simple cup and talked about the day. You told me things I'd never heard. I didn't look away. The first cup disappeared too soon. The second stayed between us. We laughed about the smallest things and let the hours pass. No one asked the time that day. No one seemed to care. We stayed until the room grew dim and everything turned gold. The coffee had gone cold by then, but neither one went home. We talked about the years before and things we hoped to do. The day we drank coffee until sunset was a day I kept with you. The cups were empty on the table. The sugar stayed untouched. You traced a circle on the saucer and smiled at me again. We never made a special plan. We never called it more. But somehow when the evening came, we still were sitting there. Maybe time is kindest when we don't keep track of it. A simple day can stay with us for reasons we forget. We stayed until the room grew dim. The evening settled near. The coffee was long gone by then, but somehow you were here. No photograph could hold that day. No words could make it new. The day we drank coffee until sunset still tastes a little like you. You looked at the cup before you, then looked across at me. You said the morning felt too quiet and asked what I could see. I told you something ordinary. You laughed and shook your head. The coffee hadn't touched your lips, but something had begun. while. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I remember that. Not the words we talked about, or where we had been at. The morning moved around us, but I stayed with that small smile. You smiled before you tasted the coffee and made the moment mine. You finally took a little sip, then made a quiet face. You said it needed something more, and pushed it toward my place. I added just a little sugar. You watched me do it twice, then took another careful taste, and said it felt just right. Some memories are not the grand ones. They don't arrive with sound. They live inside a simple smile that stays when all is gone. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I still see it now. The cup is gone, the years moved on, but I remember how. No promise ever followed, no reason needed then. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I wish that morning could stay. The coffee had grown cooler, the room had settled down. You said you'd be back in a little while, and walked outside the door. I watched the cup beside me and let the minutes pass. There was still a little coffee left at the bottom of the glass. I didn't know why I kept it. I simply left it there. The room was quiet without you. The chair was still in place. I looked at that small cup again and remembered your face. Some things are never spoken, some things are left undone. I let the last few moments stay before the day was gone. The coffee lost its warmth by then. The light had started to fade. I almost finished what was left, then thought about the way you always took took the final sip and smiled before you left. So I saved the last sip for you without knowing what came next. Maybe love is sometimes quiet, a habit we don't explain, a little part of something warm we leave for someone else. The room was quiet without you, the cup was almost dry. I knew you might not come back soon, but I didn't ask you why. The coffee was just coffee, the moment was just small, but I saved the last sip for you, and that was love enough. Before the first cup came, you looked across, cup came. You looked across the little room and smiled without a name. I had been waiting for the coffee. You had been waiting too. Neither one of us was ready for something quite this new. The cups were still upon the counter, the morning hadn't moved. You asked me how I'd slept last night. I said, a little good. You laughed beneath your quiet breath and looked down at your hands. Some things begin so simply before we understand. Love, the coffee did before the first warm sip. It found a place between our words and stayed there for a bit. No promise needed saying, no future had to show. Love arrived before the coffee did, and somehow we both knew. The coffee slowly filled the room. Cups were warm by then. We talked about the ordinary and stayed a little longer. You told me what you like to read. I told you I'd been. It felt like we'd been talking there long before that morning. Maybe love is not a thing that changes. simple cup and talked about the day. You told me things I'd never heard. I didn't look away. The first cup disappeared too soon. The second stayed between us. We laughed about the smallest things and let the hours pass. No one asked the time that day. No one seemed to care. We stayed until the room grew dim and everything turned gold. The coffee had gone cold by then, but neither one went home. We talked about the years before and things we hoped to do. The day we drank coffee until sunset was a day I kept with you. The cups were empty on the table. The sugar stayed untouched. You traced a circle on the saucer and smiled at me again. We never made a special plan. We never called it more. But somehow when the evening came, we still were sitting there. Maybe time's kindest when we don't keep track of it. A simple day can stay with us for reasons we forget. We stayed until the room grew dim. The evening settled near. The coffee was long gone by then, but somehow you were here. No photograph could hold that day. No words could make it new. The day we drank coffee until sunset still tastes a little like you. We walked there without talking. After everything was said, you carried what was left of us. I carried what I had. The evening had grown quiet. The shore was almost bare. You looked at me for just a while, then looked away again. There was nothing left nothing left to prove. We left our footsteps in the sand and let the water come. The things we couldn't carry on were lighter when they went. No need to turn around again, no need to ask where it had gone. The love we left beside the water was quiet when we walked on. You picked a shell up from the shore, then placed it back again. I watched the tide erase the marks we made along the sand. We didn't call it ending, we didn't call it love. Some things don't need another name to know what they once were. Perhaps the water understands what people cannot say. It takes a little from the shore and carries it away. We left our footsteps in the sand and watched the water move. The years may change the shape of things, but not what we once knew. I don't need to find that place again or make the past return. The love we left beside the water still rests where the waves turn. You looked at me across the table and smiled without a word. The little things we talked about were barely even heard. Your fingers rested near the cup, mine stayed close beside. The room was full of other voices, but they seemed far outside. You leaned a little closer, I forgot what I was saying. A kiss between two sips of coffee was all the morning gave. A little moment soft and warm that neither one could save. The coffee cooled between our hands, the world went on its way. A kiss between two sips of coffee still comes back to me today. You laughed and looked away from me as if nothing had occurred. I took another quiet sip and waited for your word. The sunlight moved across the table, the cups were almost dry. We didn't need to name the feeling, we only let it lie. Some moments don't need promises or reasons to remain. and visit us again. A kiss between two sips of coffee still feels so close somehow. A little warmth upon your lips, I can almost feel it now. The cups are gone, the years moved on. The room has changed its view, but somewhere between coffee and time, that kiss still feels brand new. I walked along the water when the day was almost done. The shore was quiet under me, the last warmth of the sun. I thought about the things we said on days that felt so long. Some words become much softer when the years have carried on. I wasn't looking for you, I wasn't trying to recall. The water kept on moving in a slow and steady way. I stood there for a little while and let it have its say. The sound was almost familiar, but I couldn't tell you why. It felt like something from before was passing quietly by. A wave came up beside my feet and slowly slipped away. I heard a laugh I almost knew from some much older day. For just a little moment, the distance disappeared. I heard your voice and the sound of the waves, and somehow you were near. Maybe memory has its own way of finding where we are. It doesn't need a photograph or know how far we've gone. The water kept on moving, the evening settled down. I stayed there with the quiet sea until the light was gone. I didn't need to call your name, I didn't need to try. I heard your voice in the sound of the waves, and let the memory lie. We came there for the coffee and stayed a little more. You had your hands around the cup, I watched the open shore. We talked about the places we had never been. You told me what you wanted, I told you where I'd been. The afternoon was simple. The world felt far away. Somewhere between coffee and the sea, we found a place to stay. Not quite here and not quite gone, just somewhere in between. Your voice was soft beside me. The water moved below. Somewhere between coffee and the sea, I didn't want to go. The coffee lost its warmth. The cups were nearly dry. A fishing boat was moving slow beneath the open sky. You asked me if I'd come again. I said I thought I would. Neither one of us could know how much that moment meant. Maybe love is not a place or something we can keep. Sometimes it is one quiet hour between the land and sea. Somewhere between coffee and the sea, the day began to fade. We didn't make a promise. We didn't need to say. The years may change the places, the water may move on, but somewhere between coffee and the sea, a little part stayed on. We started with a simple cup and talked about the day. You told me things I'd never heard. I didn't look away. The first cup disappeared too soon. The second stayed between us. We laughed about the smallest things and let the hours pass. No one asked the time that day. No one seemed to care. We stayed until the room grew dim and everything turned gold. The coffee had gone cold by then, but neither one went home. We talked about the years before and things we hoped to do. The day we drank coffee until sunset was a day I kept with you. Cups were empty on the table. The sugar stayed untouched. You traced a circle on the saucer and smiled at me again. a special plan. We never called it more, but somehow when the evening came, we still were sitting there. Maybe time is kindest when we don't keep track of it. A simple day can stay with us for reasons we forget. We stayed until the room grew dim. The evening settled near. The coffee was long gone by then, but somehow you were here. No photograph could hold that day. No words could make it new. The day we drank coffee until sunset still tastes a little like you. The room had grown a little quieter. The cups were almost dry. You looked at me across the table and didn't ask me why. We talked about the coming week, the things we had to do. But every little word that night seemed slower next to you. The evening had grown late, neither moved to go. We took our time with simple things and let the minutes pass. You held the cup between your hands, I watched the shadows cast. No one said that it was ending, no one asked how long. We simply stayed a little more carried on. The chairs were being put away, the room was nearly clear. You finished what was in your cup and looked at me once more. There was still a little warmth left at the bottom of my cup. It was the last coffee before we went home, and neither wanted out. Some endings don't arrive with words, they come in smaller ways. A final sip, a quiet look, a slower kind of day. Before we went home still stays with me somehow. Not because we said goodbye, but because I remember how the cups were empty, lights were low, the room had settled down, and that last quiet cup of coffee still keeps that evening warm. the cup before you, then looked across at me. You said the morning felt too quiet and asked what I could see. I told you something ordinary. You laughed and shook your head. The coffee hadn't touched your lips, but something had begun. You held the cup between your hands and waited for a while. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I remember that. Not the words we talked about, or where we had been at. The morning moved around us, but I stayed with that small smile. You smiled before you tasted the coffee and made the moment mine. You finally took a little sip and made a quiet face. You said it needed something more and pushed it toward my place. I added just a little sugar. You watched me do it twice, then took another careful taste and said it felt just right. Some memories are not the grand ones. They don't arrive with sound. They live inside a simple smile that stays when all is gone. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I still see it now. The cup is gone, the years moved on, but I remember how. No promise ever followed, no reason needed then. You smiled before you tasted the coffee, and I wish that morning could stay. The kettle made a quiet sound. The house was waking slow. A little warmth remained inside from somewhere long ago. The chairs were resting where they stood. The radio played low. No one was looking at the clock. No reason left to go. The hours had a softer pace. The day could wait a while. The morning we left unhurried, stayed gentle in the room. A little light, a little time, a quiet shade of blue. Nothing needed changing, nothing needed to begin. The morning we left unhurried was where the day came in. sound of distant rain. A page was lying open still beside a window pane. The guitar moved in simple chords, the piano answered low to quiet sounds beneath a room that had nowhere else to go. Some mornings don't ask questions, they simply let us stay and give us just enough of time to find a gentler day. The morning we left unhurried still comes back now and then. A little warmth inside the room, a quiet place again. The world can wait beyond the door, the hours can move along. The morning we left unhurried still feels like a gentle song. The salt was resting in the air. The day was warm and clear. You placed your cup beside my hand and moved a little near. We talked about the simple things, the places we had known. A quiet boat was far away, beyond the line of blue. You didn't need to tell me what I already knew. We found a small table at the edge of the sea, where time was easy then. The water kept its quiet sound, and we forgot the hour again. Your coffee cooled beside my hand. The day grew soft and still. A small table at the edge of the sea was all we needed then. You drew a little circle around the mark your cup had made. I smiled at something you had said and watched the water fade. No promise needed saying, no future needed planned. Just one more quiet cup of coffee and your hand beside my hand. Some places hold a feeling long after people go. A little chair, an empty cup, a stretch of quiet blue. We found a small table at the edge of the sea and stayed until the light grew thin. The coffee had gone cold by then, but neither wanted to leave. The years may change the places, the water may move on, sugar. I took mine black and warm. We talked about the little things that kept the day so calm. You said you had a little time. I thought you might stay long. We never noticed how the hours could quietly move on. There was still a little left when you looked toward the door. We talked until the room grew quiet and neither checked the time. The words were simple, almost nothing, but I remember mine. You smiled and said you'd see me soon, as if it would be true. Then left before the evening came and took the room with you. Your cup was sitting near the edge. A little coffee left. I reached for mine and stopped a while before I took the rest. I never knew a simple thing could carry so much weight. It was the cup we never finished together, still waiting on the table. Some stories end without a sound, no final word or sign. They leave a little unfinished space and slowly become time. The cup we never finished together is gone from there by now. The table changed, the room moved on. I don't remember how, but sometimes when I taste that coffee, I think of what we knew. A little cup left unfinished, and a day I shared with you. You always chose the quiet side, where morning reached the sea. You like to watch the water move and never talked too much. Your coffee cooled beside your hand while you looked beyond the shore. I never knew what you were thinking, but I liked you there. The days have changed the little things, but some remain the same. came back after many years. The room was almost new. The cups were different on the shelf. The walls had changed their view. But there was one thing I remembered before I even knew. Your chair still faced the ocean, the way it always used to. I sat there for a little while and listened to the sea. The chair was slightly worn with time, but felt familiar still. I ordered what you used to have and left the cup untouched. Some habits stay inside the hands long after people go. Maybe places keep our memories in ways we never see. A chair, a cup, a certain view, a little piece of me. I stayed until the light grew soft and watched the water move. The room was quiet all around, the way I once knew you. I didn't need to find you there. I didn't need to ask. Your chair still faced the ocean, and that was enough to last. The room was quiet after 7. The day had lost its heat. A gentle sound came from the radio and settled at our feet. The plates were still upon the table. The evening had begun. We had a little time remaining before the day was done. No need to fill the silence, no need to ask the time. We stayed through the blue hour before we left, when everything was still. The last soft light was on the wall. The room was calm and clear. No promise waited for us, no reason to explain. We stayed through the blue hour and let It never asked for more. The air was warm but gentle. The room was almost still. And for a little while that night, the world could wait outside. Some moments don't need keeping, they simply find a place. A little time without a plan, a little quiet grace. We stayed through the blue hour before we left, until the light was gone. The evening settled quietly and carried us along. No words became important, no memory had to stay. We simply let the blue hour become another day. You leaned a little closer so no one else could hear. There was a smile upon your face that made the room disappear. You told me something quietly I promised not to say. We both tried hard to keep our smiles and look the other way. The coffee slowly cooled between us, but neither one could tell. The table where we first shared a secret still feels close somehow. I don't remember every word, but I remember how you looked at me so carefully, as if the room could know. The table where we first shared a secret still holds that little glow. We talked until the cups were empty and evening settled in. You drew a little circle on the table with your fingertip. I asked if you would tell me more. You smiled and shook your head. Some things were better left between us, and nothing more was said. Years can change the places, and people come and go, but some small moments keep their shape long after we don't know. The table where we first shared a secret still lives inside my mind, not for what we said that day, but for what we left behind. The coffee is long gone now. The room has changed its view, but somewhere in that quiet place, that secret still feels new. before the first cup came. You looked across the little room and smiled without a name. I had been waiting for the coffee, you had been waiting too. Neither one of us was ready for something quite this new. The cups were still upon the counter, the morning hadn't moved. You asked me how I'd slept last night. I said, a little good. You laughed beneath your quiet breath and looked down at your hands. Some things begin so simply before we understand. Love arrived before the coffee did, before the first warm sip. It found a place between our words and stayed there for a bit. No promise needed saying, no future had to show. Love arrived before the coffee did, and somehow we both knew. The coffee slowly filled the room. The cups were warm by then. We talked about the ordinary and stayed a little longer. You told me what you liked to read. I told you where I'd been. It felt like we'd been talking there long before that morning. Maybe love is not a sudden thing that changes everything. Maybe it is something small that quietly begins. Love arrived before the coffee did and waited there with us. The morning carried on outside without disturbing much. The cups were nearly empty, the room was growing bright. Love arrived before the coffee did and stayed until goodbye. You were sitting by the window with your hands around the cup. We talked about the little things until the afternoon was up. You smiled when I wasn't looking, then looked away again. I remember all the quiet parts more than what you said. Then you stood beside the table and reached for your coat. You left your coffee where I could see it, still warm beside the chair. A little trace of where you sat, still resting in the air. I didn't ask you to stay longer, I didn't ask you why. You left your coffee where I could see it and walked into the light. The cup was getting small familiar memory I wasn't ready to find. Maybe love is not the moment when someone says your name. Sometimes it's what remains behind when nothing looks the same. You left your coffee where I could see it, and I still remember how your hands were warm around the cup. Only moments ago, the table is empty now. The coffee long since gone, but somehow that unfinished cup still keeps the feeling on. You always chose the quiet side, where morning reached the sea. You like to watch the water move and never talk too much. Your coffee cool beside your hand while you looked beyond the shore. I never knew what you were thinking, but I liked you there. The days have changed the little things, but some remain the same. I came back after many years. The room was almost new. The cups were different on the shelf. The walls had changed their view, but there was one thing I remembered before I even knew. Your chair still faced the ocean. didn't need to ask. Your chair still faced the ocean, and that was enough to last.